Yay.
So smart.
Feel better. I know if it's happening.
On their phone. Oh,
Yes, it's
that's how I
happening.
have to do it on my phone.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Adelaide. Hello, Bernice. Now, we are live streaming from depression to happiness. This is the intro class to Access Bars. And welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being part of this. This is Pat. This is Penny. I'm Juan. Nikki,
And Anna.
and Anna. And we are all Access Bars practitioner and Access Bars facilitator. And we're really excited to share this tool with you and share our story and our experience about how all this happened to our life and how this has changed our life. So where shall we start? Denise is going, I don't know, wherever you want to start.
Denise could ask us some questions.
Yeah. Denise, do you have any questions?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Oh, we have people joining us. We have Debbie. Hello, Debbie. Hello,
Hi, Debbie.
Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Hello,
Hi,
Sweetie.
Dimitri.
Wonderful. So,
Hi.
Hi.
Hey. Hi.
Wonderful. So I will do a short introduction. Access bars is the entry point of access consciousness, which is a very, very practical and simple tool that can change anything in your life, make your life simpler. And our goal with all of this tool is to empower people to know that they know. And the access bars are these 32 points on your head. When we gently touch them, it's like deleting the computer file where all the unhelpful thoughts, feelings, emotions, and points of views get deleted. And then where we create a space where we can know, oh, this is the life I actually truly desire to create and have the power to choose that you desire. For me, I was always happy, so I didn't go into access from depression to happiness. I went from happy to happier and crazy happy.
That's good.
So the title is a little bit deceiving, but really access consciousness, access bars have been put into studies. We've run clinical trials on clinically depressed people, and after one session, we can see up to 100% improvement. The range was between 50 to 100%. So people, actually, we had people walking into the clinic going, I want to kill myself, I just want to die. And after 90 minutes of access bars, they are like, I'm happy. Like, who wants to kill herself? That's not me. So this is something that's quite amazing. We really would love to share the tool with you. And these wonderful ladies here are having fun with access bars, and we're offering free sessions in the months of September and October for you to try it out, to find out what it's like for you, and actually hopefully get a taste of what truly being happy and being relaxed is like. No one wants that, right?
I wouldn't choose that.
No, you are too happy. So we in this intro class, please feel free to ask any question. It's quite interactive. We will share some simple tools with you. We'll also share some buzz points with you, so you can start practicing on yourself and see how the tools work in real life. And it's really practical and simple. So where shall we begin? Anna, do you want to talk about how you bumped into Access and how it's been working for you?
Sure. I started earlier this year when a dear friend of ours who, Jen Humby, we'd been studying various modalities from hypnotherapy to NLP and timelines for the past 2 years. And she came across this technique and said, look, this is something that you might like to have a look at because it's been profoundly changing for me. And I was a little bit like Juan, not depressed, but a happy person, and just thought, well, got nothing to lose. And given Jen's background, and I know that as we had studied quite a lot for the past 2 years, I was absolutely fascinated to think, well, is there something more out there that can give us even more access to who we are and what we can achieve and what we can do in this amazing life? And so she took me through the first bars session, and it was quite simply the most relaxing session, that was for certain. I certainly didn't want her to stop. And from there, I just said, hands down, I want to learn this technique because I'd like to be able to give it to other people as well. And that was the beginning, just this year, actually, just before, and then COVID hit. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, we had to wait for a few months before we could actually learn the tool. But since June, since we did our class, it's just been the most exciting, rewarding journey from there on. Yeah.
That's amazing. And you're really fast with your journey. Took you how long to become a bars facilitator?
Look, probably a month or so.
So cool.
About a year.
When you know what you want, when you can see the results that happen so profoundly, so quickly, it's just such an amazing tool to be able to share with everyone.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful to have you, in Access World. And what can we create together?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
Absolutely
you.
fun. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Anna. How about you, Nikki?
Hi. So I'd like to say hi to Michelle. Hello. So my experience was really quite life-changing. I had been on this journey of trying to work out what was wrong with me for so long. Like, it seemed like it was all of my life that there was something wrong with me, and I couldn't work out what it was. And I gave all of my power to my psychologist and my doctor and my trainer and my boss and you name it. And then I also embarked on the same journey that these guys did and learned NLP and hypno and timeline. And I had some really great experiences with that. And things started to change a lot for me because I started to step into who I really was and take back that power that I had lost all those years. But I found that I was still kind of doing a bit of a cycle where things would be really great for a while and then I would go into a bit of a crisis again. So kind of felt a little bit like this, Groundhog Day over and over again. And it just so happened late last year, I was having one of those moments, and dear Jen Humby from Mount Gambier, who introduced pretty much all of us to Access, she reached out and she said, look, I know that you've been having a little bit of trouble with, this same repeated cycle. I've got something that you might try. And I was like, I'll try anything. I don't care what it is. If you want me to put a bucket on my head and cluck like a chicken, I will do that so that I don't have to do this cycle anymore. And so she invited me over and I sat in this really comfy chair and she wrapped me up in blankets and touched my head. And then I went on a ride. So mine was really, really crazy. So I don't know whether it was because I just had so much built up in me and everything felt like just too much. As soon as things started happening and she said this weird thing to me, I was like, what is going on? And I started off being really quite emotional, and I was like, my body was a bit shaky, and at the end of it I was laughing so hard I was almost peeing my pants. Like, I just felt so much relief. I'd had a big decision that I needed to make, and it was a big decision, and it was a big financial decision, and I just was not prepared to make it before I went in to see Jen. And before I even sat up from the chair, I'd made the decision. I stepped into that power that is me again. So much of what I had believed was wrong about me was actually the best things about me. And I'd been changing it and medicating it and stifling it for so long. And I was like, no, and I just found a different way. And it just actually made me feel like someone had poured like buckets and buckets of sunshine into me.
Oh.
And now I'm so happy.
Amazing. Oh my
It really
What a
is.
lovely picture.
How does it get any better than that?
I was still picturing the
Yeah,
peanut butter in your head and
Yeah.
now it's buckets of sunshine.
It is buckets of sunshine.
Trips to sunshine.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And now I'm like, all of this time that I have been trying to find a better way to be kind to myself, and you know, I've learned so many things that I've always wanted to share with everybody, and this one is no different. Like, in fact, it's so easy for people that are actually receiving. You don't have to do anything. Like,
Yeah.
it's just amazing. You can just lie there and it just
That's right.
unlock some stuff. You can go to sleep, or you can giggle like I do. I love a good giggle. Yeah, and yeah, just it was just amazing to be able to know that I already knew all this stuff.
Oh my
Somebody
God.
just turned it off and said that I didn't, but I do.
How does it get better?
How
And
does it
you,
get
you
better?
mean you can get happy and change your life while lying
Absolutely.
down there?
While you're lying down.
Oh my God.
Yes, yes, exactly.
I'll have more of that.
Yeah.
I'm in bars. What about you, Penny?
Yeah, fantastic. So
Like for you.
my first experience was with beautiful Sylvia. She gave me my first bar session, which was fantastic. But my first session, I was all talking, wanting to know everything about what each bar point was and what it did, because as a coach, I needed to know everything. My second session was with Jen, and I actually probably flaked out and went to sleep in that session because I kind of knew the stuff then. And then in my third session, Jen would have probably spent an hour and a half on my money bar, and my life has changed.
Oh.
Like, I have had money coming easily and effortlessly through COVID. My God. Hello, the time when you're not meant to be making money. It's been the best time ever for me in coaching. So
Wow.
that is really the big life changer for me, was the money bar, like learning about it and allowing the receiving. So that's the tool that I really want to share with you guys, is bars is allowing the receiving process. It actually turns on the receiving, because we've learned to put up barriers in our life to protect us. And so it's really allowing that receiving. So that's really the major thing that I have learned. And yeah, my money's improved. So much else has improved. I'm feeling so much more peaceful, so much more relaxed. I've actually got more space in my head. I'm not thinking like all the time. Like, I'm just relaxed, and I love my life. I love it. Like, I wake up every day because my life has got so much ease, joy, and glory.
Oh my God. No one wants that. You guys don't have that. No.
Yeah.
Only Penny allowed.
So yeah, that's my story. And look, the three of us, when we did our first bars training together with Jen, and we just loved that session. And I knew that I needed more. So I've actually been and seen the beautiful Bernice for the facelift session. We've just done the body training. There's so much to learn. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Penny. It's so funny because bars is actually where body learns to receive. It's the beginning where body learns to receive. If you feel that, if you remember the last time you actually melted in someone's arm, bars is like that, but instead of melting in someone's big hug, you're actually melting into the space that we call you, the space where peace and happiness and joy is just natural for you. But you can't have that. Only us can have that.
But what if you could?
Wow, what if you
Choice.
The way to motivate the human. You know how kids when you tell them don't have anything, they're definitely gonna have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a joke.
Thank
That was a joke. Thank you so much, Penny.
My pleasure.
How about you, Kat? What's your experience?
the newest, I think, recruit as such, but I've had a really massive year of just doing so many changes, and I'm at that point now. COVID's actually worked for me as well. It's given me the freedom to be able to do all these amazing courses. So I've been watching Penny for years, and this year I've sort of followed a lot in her footsteps with the hypnotherapy and the timeline therapy, the NLP. I've done all sorts of things this year, ayahuasca and Cambo, and just learning about as much as I can. And then when I saw that Penny had done access bars, I was like, right, what's that? I need to know what this is, because they all look like they're just so happy, almost having too much fun. So I just thought, right, I was like, tell me all about it. And then she offered me a free session, which is my first taste of that. And I think I probably talked a fair bit because I wanted to know what she was doing, but I had that good balance of also just lying there and just receiving and just feeling nurtured and cared for, without having to have a lot of verbalizing of things. It was just a knowing that things were changing, and the peace and calm, and the sleep that came with that as well. I'd said to her, right, the minute you're a facilitator, I want to learn how to run the bars as well, which I have done now. So and I'm really enjoying that. And so at the moment, I'm really enjoying giving free sessions to people as well. So this is amazing, just to know that with a lot of my friends are so busy and they don't ever take time for themselves. And I think there's so many mums out there that are just so used to giving and giving and giving, and they almost feel guilty for stopping and receiving and feeling like they need to fill up their cup. And so the mums that I've been giving sessions to, it's amazing just the feeling that you get of all that energy moving, and then there's that quiet. And the fact that they are allowing themselves just to give up an hour of their very busy lives to lay there and receive and feel nurtured. And it's amazing just to feel that amazing energy off them when they get up, and their peace, the peace and calm and quiet. And that's what they talk about, is the quietening in their head, that they're not just, having to run everything a million miles an hour. There's just space to let new receiving in. And for myself now, I'm receiving so much from all these different places. I'm now more aware and alert, and allowing things to come to me, and not having an intention to something has to look a certain way. I'm now more open to receiving whatever it is, and so much more is coming my way now. I love it.
It's amazing. Thank you so much. You don't sound like a newbie.
And also I do, I now have my kids, and my husband will just say, can you do that bars thing to me tonight? So I've been getting a lot of practice with a lot of friends. But the kids, they love it. They're calmer. They seem to be doing better in school. It's it's just
it's an amazing
really
tool
lovely
for kids.
Lovely just for them to be peaceful for a while as well. Not not that they don't need as long, but they just lay there, and that peace. And you're right, they just kind of melt in your hands, and it's a beautiful, loving exchange as well.
It is. And if you have teenager at home, or 3-agers, if you run their bars, they're gonna be quiet for about 3 weeks.
We don't want that, do we?
And we have beautiful Bernice here. She's very experienced Access Consciousness Bars facilitator. She's probably one of the oldest, most experienced in Adelaide.
Oldest too, I think.
Would you like to share your story?
Sure. I was just working out in my head. I would think it's 12 years ago that I first heard about Access. And I really went along because Viv Adcock, don't know, you might know of her, up in Queensland. She was down in Adelaide with visiting friends, and I read in a women's newsletter, come along, free talk on Access Consciousness. This is what helped me with my eye problem. And I thought, if that helped this particular lady with her eyes, I am really interested. But when I went along, she'd actually mixed the email up. She was referring to Lifeline instead. We found out later, but I went on her recommendation, and then within a short time of listening to Viv talk, that really sold it to me, because this Viv, was so happy and so really looking like she really walked her talk, like she really knew, she practiced what she was telling us. So that impressed me. And then because there were no other people in Adelaide doing Access at that time, so just I listened to a talk and then I did the bars class. And you people now, when you do it, you have this lovely chart and manual and everything. We didn't have even a manual. We had a few photocopied pages and a hand-drawn head chart. That's all.
Wow.
Okay, this is in the olden days. So Viv came and then went back to Queensland. Now 6 weeks later, she let me know she's coming back to do foundation. I thought, I have no idea what that is. But anyway, if she's coming back, I might do that bars class again because I don't really think I got it. So I got my bit of paper out, sat down on the floor, touched my own points, and I suddenly felt transformed. I thought, you can do this on yourself, because I had no one run my bars in that 6 weeks. So then I went back, I repeated the bars class and did foundation. And I remember Viv just having this attitude of, I thought, look, I'll do foundation. Back then was foundation and level 1 in 2 parts. So I said, oh, I'll just do 1 part. Just, oh, how can we get that to work for you? Would you like to do it all? Obviously that would be better for her too and better for me. And I go, well, and fix me up next month. Now I was astounded. The woman didn't know me from a bar of soap and she was offering that. And so I did that and I've never looked back. Something else too, I remember at the time she had a few of the basic books. I really liked the Money Isn't the Problem You Are book. That was the very first one I bought. So looking at the books, I decided to buy one. My friend that came with me said she'd buy one. We'd read them and swap and all that. And then Viv says, oh, would you like this talk of Gary giving an introduction talk up in Queensland? I go, no, that's okay. I was only just going to buy the book. She says, I'd like to gift it to you. And I thought, what is the matter with her? Like I said, no, that's okay. I only want to buy the book. She says, oh, I don't want to take it back to you. Please let me gift it to you. And I was really thinking she's very strange. But I listened to that CD. This is in the old-fashioned days too, in the car. I just had it playing over and over again, and I got it. Gary says, okay, what you're unwilling to receive limits what you can achieve. Get good at receiving, you people. And he also talked about the rock in the stream, and aligning, agreeing with something, or resisting and reacting sends you down the same track. Be the rock in the stream. Just be interesting point of view. I got, in a nutshell, so many Access basics in that CD. I have never forgotten them. I think I still have it somewhere. I must get it out and have a listen for old time's sake. Yeah. So initially too, it was only certified facilitators that could teach bars class. And so this is 12 years ago. So about 18 months after our friend and I went up to Queensland then it was called level 2 and 3, choice of possibilities. And then that opened up the bars to be taught by bars facilitators. So quick as anything, Robin and I found someone else to teach us the bars, and then someone was visiting Adelaide. We got her to teach us the bars class. So then we were able to become facilitators. And yeah, that was 10 years ago. Wow. There you go. And I've done a lot since. Oh, I actually just remember thinking something else. When you ran your bars, some of you girls said, yes, I talked all the way through, or the next time I just dozed off. I think outstandingly, probably one of the most outstanding bars sessions I've ever run was on a person that had, what had happened to him? He had a very bad accident, and he said he had barely slept for 4 months. He developed post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, often I'll say when I'm running bars, or like a little bit of information, he was out to it right from the start. He's snoring really loudly, so I couldn't even tell him anything. But that proved to me, when he came back a week later, that bars work whether you're awake and talking or asleep and snoring. Yeah. The week later, he said, well, my doctor's scratching his head. He's really wondering what I did, because I went back and had my blood pressure and anxiety levels checked. And my blood pressure is normal, and it wasn't the week before. And the doctor said, you have to tell me what you did. Did you have hypnotherapy or something? And he didn't. He had his bars run.
Wow.
So he had a couple of sessions, then resolved ended up out of the other blue telling me one day why he believed he'd react so badly as a result of the accident. resolved. I think he came once or twice a year or two later just for some maintenance. I haven't seen him for a while. It was a really good example of how powerful the bars are.
Wow. My
Yeah.
bars are going crazy right now as you tell me the story. So shall we show people some bars points so you can practice at home? Ladies, do you have any questions? No? You're just excited to try your bars points? Okay, not. Shall we? I'm just gonna move the camera around. Then we got the lucky gonna receive we will show you some of the most useful points. And if you would like to taste the full bar session, come to our free bars clinic on the 23rd of September or the 8th of October. Yeah, then all of these beautiful ladies are offering free sessions, and we're gonna tell you more about the bars at the venue, at the clinic. Okay, so just bear with me. I'm gonna get it set up. It's gonna be the lucky one running Lucky's bars. Oh, great. Yes.
Yes, on your back.
Sorry.
You lay him down. Oh, is that under the legs? I've got one.
So this is how you receive the bars. You really just need to lie down there. The only thing you can't do is crossing your hand. That's pretty much it.
Your hands up. So if you were to cross your hands over, that would actually prevent the bars from running. So Lockie's got his hands touching here like this. So what we'd encourage would be for Lockie to move one hand below the other, and that'll keep those bars running nice and open, or just down by his side would be fine as well.
Okay, do you mind? Shall we just do the implants?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Peace, calm, and gratitude.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of the most
Yeah.
common
excellent.
bars. So we're not gonna run a full session here. We're just gonna run a few that you can practice at home. What Nikki's doing right now is implant bands. It's right at the, let's see. It's right behind the ear where you get a bump behind the ear, and there's a little depression area, and her finger is perfectly sitting in the depression area behind the ear. And you might feel some heat or buzzing sensation, or just feels really nice when your finger actually get there. And if you look at Bernice and Linda's doing it as well, you can run your implant band yourself at home. If you're lying down, if you can't sleep well, especially if sleep is something that's really not friendly with you, when you're lying down, you can put pillows under your elbow, under your arm, and just sleep with your fingers on the implant bands. Usually, that's more powerful than sleeping pills.
Cheaper. Yeah.
Cheaper too, yes. No side effect.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you fall asleep on the implant band, which I often do, you're probably gonna wake up happier. And if you're still awake after 10 minutes, you can see if you want to move your finger to the next bars point that Nikki will show you after a while.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep far out.
Yeah, save that for later.
Yeah.
How long do you recommend people hold this implant band position for?
I would start with 10 to 15 minutes. That's for most bars recipient. But if you have done a big class or if you have lots going through your life, then hours.
Wow.
Like an hour, 2 hours. Some people, I think I've heard stories of people having their implant bands around for 3 hours and their whole skull felt like it's completely melted like butter. Yeah. So what these points do is they remove all the thoughts, feelings, emotions that's been implanted in your life. What we call implantation is like, you get fake knee, prosthetic legs. They are implants, or you get dental implants. They are fake, they're not yours. So they're pretty big lies or programs, points of views that's stuck in your life that you kept running with it. For example, I must get married at the age of 28, and I must get a kid before the age of 30 because my mom said so. That may not be true for you, but that's a program that's been implanted in your life and you've been running by this lie. No wonder people are not happy. They're not living a life they truly desire. So when we run implant bands, we don't know what thoughts and feelings and points of views we clear, but your body knows what to let go of. And usually people will let go of anything that's not true for them. And then that gives you the space where all the ladies have been talking about, the space where you can be you and choose for you. How are you going, Loki? You should see his smile. Shall we move to the money bar?
So that was for sleep, was it?
Sorry, what was that?
So that was for sleep, was it?
That's to help you release stress, and it can also help you with sleep as well. So if you're at work and if you're stressed, you can put your finger on the implant bands as well. That's gonna assist. Lovely. So the next 3 points are money, control, and creativity. So money is a how do you find it? I'm trying
go
to
up from the front of the ear.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of pops in, like you just find it.
Yeah.
And then the others, you can just feel the energy pulls your fingers into place there.
Your fingers are naturally the right size.
They always are the right size. My son has a very large head and I have smallish hands. So my energetic fingers pop into the spots for him really, really easily now because it knows his head, which is lovely. But at first I did kind of wonder how was I going to get my fingers around, but they just know the spots. And everyone's head's a little bit different, obviously.
Yeah. And if you really don't know, there are actually indentations in the skull. If you're running on your own head, you can find them easily. If you notice that Nikki's middle finger is longer and that's where exactly it wants to be. And if you're running on your own head, just be aware that to move your middle finger down a little. And it's about 3 finger width from the attachment of the ear and from here. And if you're running on your own, I'll just show you. So I usually move my finger upwards like that, and then I will move my middle finger down a little to make sure that I am on the right point. That's the control. That's money, control, and creativity. Alternatively, I'm lazy. I use the knuckles. I just go like that. I can see Linda's doing that and Savitch is doing that. Yeah, if your arms are getting tired, you can pop cushions under your arm, and if you lie down, it's gonna be easy. What does the money, creativity, and control do? What do the fast points do?
Well, it creates a greater allowance to create more in your life, to dispel the judgments that you've had around your capacity and ability to create and have more money. Almost everything, Penny, to receive, yes.
Penny, is that the bars that you got run for an hour and a half that changed
Correct.
everything?
Yes.
Oh,
90 minutes on my money bar. That
oh
was
my God.
life-changing.
Oh my God.
And yeah, and just things like in the past, I hadn't bothered to monitor my expenses, things like that. Like it changed mine. Like I decided, well, now I actually need to see how much I'm spending.
Yeah.
You know, what is my income? And I then like pulled it in and cut my expenses. Like there was things I was buying I didn't need. I was
Yeah.
honest, and so it was just like, wow, okay, I don't actually need that. So it
It's
came.
amazing.
Yeah, came from both ways, more income and less expenses, and how does it get any better than that?
Exactly.
But yeah,
Exactly.
now I'm actually buying, now one of the access tools that I have learned is when I go to buy something, I walk into the shop and say,
Yeah.
okay, body, you know, what do you desire? You can have anything in this whole shop. What do you desire? And so I actually now ask my body to choose, and then I say, okay, if I buy this, will it make me money?
Yeah.
Right? And I get the yes or no, and if I get a yes, then I buy. If I get a no, then I don't.
Yeah, I love that tool.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love shopping too.
It also helps if you don't shop. Like I don't enjoy shopping
Uh-huh.
as such. And I always found that I did have a lot of judgment about spending money or what my purchase was going to do for me, or was it the right thing? Am I being frivolous? So this actually worked for me in a really different way, that I was actually able to have allowance to buy things that did make my life so much better. And so I would do the same process as Penny, and I would ask, you know, is there something in this shop that my body really wants? And I'd get a yes or no. And if I got the yes, I would go into the shop and I would kind of energetically walk around and see if there was anything there. And then if I found something that I thought that I would like to purchase, I would ask the same thing as well. Will this help me make more money? You know, how does it make me feel? And yeah, and so I've actually purchased a few things now, which is nice because I never used to. So it's quite different.
Is the red lipstick one of them?
That is what I will always spend money.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll always spend money on lipstick. That's not a problem. But I'll wear the same shoes for 10 years. But
Now you're finding the shoes that matches your
I need to get some nice red shoes, don't I?
Oh. And how's Lucky going?
Very good, thanks.
It's got such a hard job.
I know.
No. Flying around.
Lucky.
Working on my bars.
And while Lockie's receiving his bars, mine are actually running as well. I have my bars run only a few days ago, and so anytime I talk about a bar or touch a bar or touch somebody else's bar, mine runs again. So I'm feeling quite hot at the moment. So when I run people's bars, I run quite hot. When I get my bars run, I'm cold. So I want to rug myself up. So that's quite an interesting thing.
And that's the great thing about being a practitioner, is that when you give bars, you receive as well. So how does it get any better than that? You're clearing the person and you're also clearing your own stuff as well. Like, I love my work.
Exactly, I know. And Penny, you've said, how does it get even better a few times. Can you talk about that, please?
So it's probably one of the key tools I've learned from Access Consciousness, is that I say it all the time. I might receive a bill. How does it get any better than that? Because how can it? You know, you're actually allowing it to be. And so the more I can allow, the more I can receive.
Yeah.
So I say it for everything now. There's no good, there's no bad. I'm just, how can it get any better?
Exactly.
Yeah, for everything.
Yeah. Thank you, Penny. And please, ladies, or everyone listening to this, please don't ask your husband how does it get even better. It's not a question to ask your husband. They will scratch their head and go, "It can't get any better. Why does she always want it better?" This is a question for the universe, please. Okay, because like Penny said, when you do the question, when you do ask the universe, it's like the universe is like a buffet. It's always wanting to gifting you more. They're just waiting for you to ask. So that's a question for the universe. Please do not torture your husband with that question.
That's one thing that I had heard that really resonated with me, is that the
Yeah.
universe really is infinite and generous, and it wants us to
Yeah.
have everything that we want.
Exactly.
So, yeah, there's enough for
Exactly.
everybody.
Yeah.
Just got to know what to ask for.
Totally. Yeah. Lovely. Shall we move
What
to
are we
the
doing?
next one? Peace, calm, gratitude.
Oh, my
and
favourite.
kindness.
I love this one so much. I'll do mine a little bit differently. So most people will look for the 3 points, which are kind of just behind the ear here, in front of where the implant band is. But what I find when I use the whole palm of my hand, in particular these fingers here, I can actually cradle the head and just behind the ear, and then it hits on all of those points, but it also gives an experience of real comfort as well. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful bar. It's my favorite bar. When I run this on people, I tend to sit here for quite some time because it makes me feel amazing as well. Absolutely love this one. So doing it on yourself, yeah, probably going up this way might be the easiest. And you can feel that there's a little bit of a ridge between the bottom of the skull and then that point where the skull pops up there, and there's a nice little gap there. That you can get your fingers in that spot there nice and easily.
Thank you. Oh, I love being cradled.
Yeah. And this is the thing too, is that bodies love being touched, and we don't touch each other as much as we should, and especially with COVID and we're all doing our distancing. Oh, I love you. You know, with all of the physical distancing and, you know, I can't shake your hand and I can't give you a hug. Our bodies are screaming for it. They want this so much. So that's why, you know, the bars is always a hands-on process. You would never do this, you know, kind of, I guess, remotely, I think you would call it. A lot of things that you can do via Skype and Zoom, etc. But this is not one. You would always run bars in person, so that the body learns to receive more. And when the body learns to receive more, everything starts to change. So receiving opens up so many avenues in different areas. So it can be around love, it can be around money, it can be around, you know, creativity and creation. So love your bodies, touch other people's bodies. Also, make sure you do that with consent.
So I'll show you a different way of finding those points. Peace, calm, gratitude, and kindness. If you imagine you have a pixie ear, that those 3 points, they're actually upside down triangular 3 points here. And you can choose to touch it like that. Or if you have seen anyone going, "Oh my God, what's going on?" They're actually touching peace, calm, gratitude, and kindness all together to calm themselves down.
Yeah.
So just go, "Oh my God," and you'll be on the point. And Bernice, you had a story about your nephew on your
Oh, my grandchild. Mm.
yes, with those points. Can you share with us, please?
Yeah, I think he was probably about 9 weeks old. And so I remember holding him at a picnic, and he was awake, not really crying, just squirming a bit. So just with one hand, I have the picture on my phone still, I think. Let me think. So I've got the baby here. With one hand, I touched his kindness, gratitude, peace, and calm points. And his little eyes went in as in slow motion, closing, 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 gone. Like going, 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 gone. And my daughter-in-law noticed, she said, "What did you do?" I took my hand away and he opened his eyes up wide again. And I said, "Watch this." So she took my phone and took some photos. So I've got a series of photos with him looking with his eyes open, then his eyes closed a little bit, and then he's right out to it, completely asleep in about half a minute.
Wow.
And I usually make my fingers into a little tool, if you can see that. I put the middle finger, so thumb and little finger out the way, but the middle three fingers are just like a little, I'm trying to get this the right point. So they're my little tools, as I put my little tools on that point, the pixie ear point. I think someone thought of that one of the first bars classes that I was running. Somehow that came into the conversation, so we definitely called them the pixie ear points. And I remember also early in the piece, we'd receive a very good series of follow-up emails, and from time to time that gets changed. You get videos and things now. But I remember Gary saying, kindness, gratitude, peace, and calm bars really need to be run because they mop up the excess adrenaline that we just run on non-stop, and they pour a wave of endorphins into the system. And I know when I touch those points, when I'm running bars, my own body picks up the relaxation as well. So really nice and calm. And if you're ever running at a bar swap or at a class where you're teaching, and so everyone is on that point, suddenly the room goes really quiet. Nobody even feels inclined to talk, even if they've been chattering a minute before. So these points can really put you to sleep. My recommendation is if you're having trouble sleeping or you're just laying down for a rest, you can cross your hands over the back like so and lean back and give yourself some nice peace and calm.
Wow, this is more like an advanced bars class.
Yeah.
Everyone's
People are
experience
manic.
exchanged.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Bernice.
welcome.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, I just thought of something else as I'm on a roll now.
Yeah.
The joy and sadness points, which I don't know if you're going to do, but when I remember reading a very good article, what can new brain science tell us about the bars? And in it, it said that if you're in a laboratory and having your brain stimulated or mapped, scientists could stimulate each point and induce, let me think, for the joy one, hours and hours of extreme euphoria, and for the sadness, hours of deep sadness. So when you actually have this is definitely what happens. In the article, it said, oh, Access knew this years ago. When you touch the points, you actually strengthen the bond between them. So generally people wake up happier. They don't go down into the deep sadness that they otherwise might. So that's joy and sadness on the forehead.
Yeah, you can show the joy and sadness. They're pretty much right above your eyebrow. Can you see? I'm not very good at holding camera.
Yeah. These points also bring more blood to the frontal lobes of the brain. If you are stressed, blood literally drains from the frontal lobes of the brain and you can't think clearly or make great decisions. So when you have these points run, it acts like a magnet, I'd say, and it brings more blood and therefore oxygen up to the frontal lobes of the brain, enabling better brain function.
That's amazing. It's so funny, after the peace come gratitude and kindness, I just don't want to talk. Who wants to continue with the talk?
Mm.
So we've shown you quite a few bars points. You can practice at home and see how you feel afterward. As I said, this is only a part of the bars points that we will be doing in the whole set. And start practicing and see how your body likes it. And if you've got a family member, kids, you can start running these bars points on them as well and see how their body responds as well. Play with the tools. And definitely, whenever with the how does it get better question, you can ask when you kick your toe into the chair, or you can ask when you win the lottery and go, how does it get even better than that? Because there's always more possibilities, there's always more available there. And then life becomes like a box of chocolate. Do you have any questions here? Do any of you have any questions? Oh, happy and smiley?
And so just a reminder again that for those who would like to come and experience the full 32 points of a bar session, that we'll be running 2 events, raising awareness for suicide awareness and mental health on the 23rd of September. And it'll run from 2 to 8 p.m. And we've located a really good location in North Adelaide on Barton Terrace. And it's the Regal Park Comfort Inn.
Does this work?
Oh, nice work. It's not back to front, is it?
I don't know. Is it back to front?
No, that's good.
You can read
Excellent.
it? Oh,
You
good.
can read it. Regal Park.
So we're going to have a handful of practitioners there for about 6 hours, and come and experience the magic of bars. We'll be running that on the 23rd of September and then repeating it at the same time on the 8th of October, which will be a Thursday from 2 to 8 p.m. There's great parking out front, and we'd love for you to come and experience it hands-on. It's just amazing.
Wonderful. And we have quite a few bars classes coming up if you actually want to learn how to run access bars. They are on the September 16th, September 27th, and pretty much all the way through in October. Each week there's one facilitator teaching a class. So if you'd like to find out more about the ongoing classes, you can go to accessconsciousness.com and find out more. You can actually learn more about what bars are, and you can search by area and find out how many practitioners are there running bars classes in South Australia. Do you have any questions so far? No? Are you coming to the Comfort Inn?
Everyone's just peace and calm.
Find comfort in.
Yeah. Peace and gratitude at the Comfort Inn.
I'm just gonna type the website in the chat.
Oh, that's a good idea.
What you doing?
I'm just restructuring him.
Restructuring him.
I don't want it all to fall out as he stands up.
So that was happening. Didn't sign up for that.
So that's the usually at the end of the bars we will do what we call restructuring and reactivating, so that the thoughts, feelings, emotions that we just deleted do not come back. I'd like to share the light and heavy tool. Do you think that would be a contribution?
Yes.
Sounds fabulous.
Great, great. So while Lucky Loki is getting reconstructed, restructured, restructured and reactivated. We'll share one more tool with you, which is what I use all the time. And as I said at the beginning, access consciousness is about empowering you to know that you know. So how do you know that you know? One really simple tool called light and heavy. For example, if you do this practice with me, just look at the pen in my hand. It's a pen, right? You agree that's a pen? And be aware of your body. Be aware of your body's sensation. I'm just gonna say it 3 times. This is a pen. This is a pen. This is a pen. Just notice how your body feels. Is it light? Is it relaxed? Is it expanded? Or is it nothing? Just notice that. That's how your body is telling you when it's a truth for you. Okay. Now I'm gonna same pen. I'm gonna say it 3 times. This is not a pen. This is not a pen. This is not a pen. How's your body responding? Contracting, heavy, withdrawn. I can barely say the word properly. And that's how you know there's a lie here. So,
that's good.
right? And if you, well, this is how your body tells you whether there's a lie or whether there's truth for you. And everyone can be different. This is an object that we all agree with. And when you ask questions about your life, choose, do I really desire to take on this job? Do I really desire to go out with this man? You would have an awareness that is your knowing. So if you follow the truth of your life will get lighter and more expansive. That's a really basic tool. And like when Penny was sharing with us, hey body, what would you like to buy? Hey, if I buy you, would you make me more money? These are all actually a lot of these questions are relying on the heavy and lightness tool. So if it's light, I will buy it. If it's heavy, I'm not gonna buy it. It's quite simple as that. So now you have the light and heavy tool. What if you start removing I don't know from your life and start going, what do I know here? Does it make your body happier when I say that? I would say that's a yes if you're not giving me a nod or shake. Okay. Do we have any questions about the light and heavy tool? Was there anyone who didn't get it? Or was
No,
there
but
anyone
I liked
who-
that example.
Yeah.
I thought that's
example?
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, I haven't heard that one before.
Oh,
But
really?
it was so clever to actually use that awareness, like in my
Yeah.
tummy. That's where I was
Yeah.
getting the contraction when you were saying it's not a pen.
Yeah.
And it's like my stomach just went, ooh.
Yeah.
But you're right, it's more than just a feeling. It's like that withdrawn, like you were saying. I was like, yeah, actually, it was more than just a yes or no. It was kind of like a physical response
Yeah,
in many ways.
that's how smart our bodies are. And my daughter tried to lie to me the other day. I'm like, now you're lying. She's like, how do you know? I'm like, remember light and heavy tool? I know magic. She's like, oh, I forgot. Use it to your advantage. Well, so we are towards the end of our intro class. Please do come and find us if you're in Adelaide. It's gonna be an awesome experience. And worst case scenario, you get a gentle head massage from the session. Best case scenario, your whole life will be changed, and you might get happier.
How do we get there?
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank you. I'll see you on the 23rd of September or the 8th of October in here. Okay, we'll put the information in the post. Yes, we got Facebook groups and Facebook links, and we will share that in the follow-up. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Lovely.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
You did good.